So you got yourself a RoboMaster S1. Congratulations. This is a very fun product. We've been testing it around outside, indoors. It has not disappointed. It's got a lot of potential. The one thing that I'm concerned about though is it's kind of fragile from the standpoint that if you dropped it off this table, probably would break this off. The base would probably be okay, but all of this up here, maybe these antennas, are susceptible to damage. So you got to figure out how you're going to transport this thing around. I've come up with two options. One around $6 and one $35. And I'll tell you where I came up with those prices. I looked online and I was going to find a case for the robot and actually buy one, but the cheapest I could find was around $50 and it just didn't look very sturdy. And a very sturdy one was around $100. So before we decide how we're going to transport this thing, there's a couple things you should know. First of all, the robot is approximately 12 inches long. It's 9.5 inches wide and it's about 10.5 inches tall. As a way of scaling it, and put it in there like this, fits in a 14-inch pizza box. So one of the first things I did is I was concerned about it just rolling around. You can use this assembly to kind of get it up a little bit. And that kind of works, but it's less than satisfying. It kind of teeters around like this. You can kind of get it on there, and that will hold it in place, but I just didn't like the way that worked. So I came up with this very simple set. It's 1/2 inch PVC, 4 T-joints. So let's just take it apart so you can get a sense of what the components are. You've got, I'll measure them out for you. 2 4-inch pieces of PVC, 2 2.5 inch pieces of PVC. Take it off a little bit. Don't go anywhere. 2 6-inch long 1/2 inch PVC, and then these longer, wider ones, right around 9.25 inches. That's how I came up with it. You can obviously glue all these joints, but what I find with a lot of my PVC projects is that just putting them together is good enough. Let's see if we can. That way, if you want the PVC for another project, you've got it right there. You can take it apart and scavenge it or whatever. And there you go. And the great thing about this is that that gives you a base to keep this thing from moving around too much. And then the base was the theme I used to come up with both the $6 solution and the $35 solution. But let's talk a little bit about design and some of the other ideas that I explored. I had this luggage case. It's a 22-inch carry-on bag. The robot fits in there pretty good that way, but then it has problems this way. So you got the protection laterally, but again, this is my concern right here. It's not going to work very well at all. So this is another roller bag I have. You can see how wide it is in there. A little more stable, a little more protection on the bottom. The robot fits in here fairly well, but again, no protection on the sides and no protection on the top. So this didn't work very well. For just trucking it around the house or up downstairs, again, I'm concerned that if this fell out of your hands, just walking up and down the stairs, you probably would significantly damage the robot. This is just a standard freezer bag. I'm going to put it over here so it doesn't roll off the table. There was a design on Amazon that looks similar, so you can see that it will probably fit in there. And for trucking it up and down the stairs, carrying it short distances, the robot's fairly protected. Put that over your shoulder. It's not the fanciest, best looking thing, but put it over your shoulder and you've protected the robot for the most part. That's just for like short-term transit. But I wasn't happy with any of these solutions. So I was at Walmart and I saw one of these crates. And I'll give you the dimensions of it. It's 16.5 inches long, 13.5 inches wide, and about 10.5 inches tall. So it's about the height of the robot. I can slide my little wheel protector in there. This is really great because you've got two solid hands to carry it. The only concern I have, again, is how the turret's just moving around. Not liking that a whole lot. So I came up with this. Let me take it out for you and show you. Just basically a pool noodle. I used a 3/4 inch hole saw to actually cut that hole, but you could carve it out. The rest of this was carved out with just a straight cutter. And I carved out an area here. Blaster would fit in there, and I wanted to protect the camera. There's no camera cover that comes with it. Now you could probably use a smaller pool noodle, but I found that the depth on this was perfect to protect the blaster all the way out to the end. And you can see I just push that in there like that, stays in place. And then when I put it back into what I call the local carrier, it's in there pretty good. You could probably take some straps and run it over here if you really wanted to. But again, I found that this is pretty stable as long as you don't drop it too hard. You can really carry this thing and your robot's going to be fine. You can also move it so that the turret's over here like this. But let me show you what I thought is the best solution. This thing. Essential Chest is what it's called. Now, I know on Amazon it costs a little more, but at Walmart, $29, $29.99. This thing is rugged. I'll show you outside where I can really put it through its paces. Here is what I think is probably the best RoboMaster case you can get. You can stand on it. It is that tough. It's got a nice handle there, big rollers, rolls on every surface. Now let's get into what's inside. You saw the footage outside. That was actually during one of our tests. But just to review, you've got some great little containers here. These doors, pretty solid. The handle is a definite plus. The wheels are big and tough. By the way, Stanley didn't pay me anything for this review. I just happened to find it and it works well. It comes with this little tool thing here. I paid a little under $1 for this additional piece. This is actually just a bag of chalk we're using to mark distances with the robot. Temperature thing there. Some things that we're working on. We'll see those videos soon. This PVC tubing fits in there nicely. Put your robot in there. Now, what we've decided to do is we actually put the robot here. You can see that it's flush. This protects the top of the robot. Might put some padding in here eventually. If I do that, I'll certainly share the information. I believe in reusing things. So this 2-liter bottle here goes in to protect the robot even further, going back and forth. This 1-liter bottle slides in right there. Again, give a little extra cushion depending on where you're going. This is great. This is for our walkies. The DJI tool set sits in there. This is just some tools that we put in a bag. That's a future build right there. Got a little hint of that. And then this goes in on the other side. Actually, let's reverse that. The toolkit goes on this side, and then this little extra container here goes right here. Now again, you could probably put some cushioning in there. We field tested it so far and everything's working great. So that kind of keeps the robot in place. It allows you all sorts of storage for components. You can put your charger in here. Actually, the robot battery fits great in here. This is a GoPro battery. This is a 360 Insta360 battery. All these are different tests that we're doing and evaluating. It clamps shut really nice. It's got a nice little handle. I am really happy with the decision to invest in this. There you go. The two absolute best and inexpensive ways to transport your valuable and awesome DJI RoboMaster S1 robot. The $6 solution for just, up and down the stairs in the building, and the super mega tough $35 solution right here. Thumbs up and comments, always appreciated. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more RoboMaster testing and videos coming soon, where I'll explain what this guy is for.